Nixon would go on to re-enter politics, and Mitchell followed him as an advisor. He managed Nixon's successful run for the presidency in 1968, and along the way, he's helped shape Nixon's public positions as a law and order candidate. That public posture wasn't just a play for votes. Like Nixon, Mitchell believes in American values, and he has a great deal of contempt for anti-war radicals and the political left. By working to keep President Nixon in the White House, Mitchell believes he's helping secure a better future for America, and he's willing to work around the clock if that means winning the election. Still, the work is not easy, and Mitchell knows he's about to have to make some difficult decisions, giving the go-ahead for some operations that may break the law. Mitchell strikes a match and begins puffing tobacco from his pipe when one of his aides opens the door. He ushers in Jeb Magruder, Mitchell's trusted deputy. Jeb, take a seat. Now, what do you have for me? Magruder unlatches his briefcase and takes out a stack of documents. It's the new plan, Gemstone 3. All right, give me your take. Well, I'll say this. It's better than the stuff Liddy brought us in January. God, I hope so. Ruby this, Topaz that. Those were some of the wildest schemes I've ever encountered. Something out of a dime novel. Some of those proposals, they were on the fringe. You don't have to sugarcoat it. They were crazy. I suppose so. Anyways, this time he gave us more of a stripped-down proposal, and at a fraction of the cost. It's only $250K. And what does that cover? It's focused on bugging operations, recording people, including one at the Watergate. Have you ever been there? Brand new. No, I haven't, but the DNC is. It's their headquarters. Mitchell shifts uncomfortably in his chair. Oh. So Liddy wants to eavesdrop on the Democrats, figure out their election plans. Well, he wants to put together a team and break in. They'd set up a few microphones, maybe take some photos, and yes, get some good information. It could also backfire. I mean, if those bugs were ever traced back to us, just think about it. The president would be ruined. It would be bad. And this is a scheme cooked up by Liddy, the same man with his diamonds and topazes who wanted to kidnap kids and hold them in Mexico. So be straightforward with me. I don't think I trust Liddy. He seems a little crazy. What do you think? Well, I think he is a little crazy. And personally, I can't stand the guy. But this might be one of those times where we've got to push forward. The president is not happy with the amount of political intelligence he's been receiving so far. He definitely wants more. This might be the way to get it. Mitchell stares out the window at the sparkling bay. This is no small risk, but Magruder is right. Okay. Tell Liddy he can have his $250,000. I just hope he uses it wisely. After Magruder leaves, Mitchell packs his pipe and lights a match. He's still uneasy about the plans he's just set in motion, and it's not something he can discuss with the president. Nixon has to remain totally isolated from any illegal activities. These are hugely consequential decisions. Mitchell is making them without his boss's knowledge, by design. Still, as he takes another long drag from his pipe, Mitchell reassures himself that the potential rewards of this mission do outweigh the risks. He made the right call. No one has ever won a presidential election by playing it safe. It's April 12, 1972, in Washington, D.C. G. Gordon Liddy sits alone in a basement office across the street from the White House. He looks over a desk that's cluttered with notes, maps, and folders. Among the mess is a series of photographs showing tall buildings with sleek curves. Liddy furrows his brows as he studies the photos of the Watergate complex. Soon a group of men are going to break into the Democratic National Committee headquarters there and bug their office. It's Liddy's responsibility to develop the plans. So for days, Liddy has been studying these materials. He believes he's worked out a good way to go about it. The burglars will enter the complex through an underground garage. They'll head up the stairwell to the 6th floor where the DNC offices are located. Once there, the team will plant their bugs and photograph any documents of interest. But they will have to play it safe. The team will have a lookout stationed in a hotel across the street. That lookout will have binoculars and a walkie-talkie. He'll be able to alert the team if any security or police are on the way. Liddy himself will wait nearby in the Watergate Hotel, following everything by walkie-talkie. Liddy thinks it's a solid plan, even if it was developed on a tight timeline. Normally, Liddy would have wanted months months to prepare for a mission like this. But Jed Magruder, the president's deputy campaign manager, said the DNC offices need to be bugged as soon as possible. So now Liddy has to finalize just a few more important details, including some technical decisions that could make or break the operation. But that will have to wait, as James McCord, a former agent for the CIA, has come to pay Liddy a visit. McCord is a tall man with sharp features, and as he enters the room, Liddy remembers why he's so glad to have McCord as part of the operation. Not only is he head of security for Nixon's re-election committee, he's an expert in bugging and surveillance, skills that are key for the mission. McCord takes a seat, and Liddy pulls open a desk drawer and removes a tan envelope. It's thick with cash, funds that Liddy picked up from the office of President Nixon's re-election committee. Liddy slides the envelope to McCord and tells him that there's over $80,000 inside. He wants McCord to buy a top-of-the-line custom transmitter, the kind of technology that'll allow them to pick up almost all the sound in the DNC's office. But Liddy is surprised when McCord shakes his head in disagreement. He says that a room bug is a bad idea. It has to be powered by batteries, and all batteries eventually die. Liddy pushes back, insisting a transmitter is their best option. But McCord says that with his extensive experience with surveillance, it would be much better to bug the phones. Something about a phone bug doesn't feel right. Liddy had the whole operation planned out, and this changes things. McCord insists it's the better idea, and Liddy knows he has to defer to his expert's judgment. So Liddy nods and says fine, they'll bug the phones instead. McCord grabs the envelope of cash and rises. As he heads for the door, Liddy reminds him to move fast on all the purchases. The Watergate break-in is only weeks away. McCord nods curtly and exits the room. Liddy returns to his maps and photos and begins thinking about the plan again. He's unsettled by the change McCord insisted on, and even McCord himself. He's talented, but he presents a risk. He's an easily identifiable member of the Nixon campaign team, unlike all the rest of the Watergate operatives. If something goes wrong and McCord is caught during the break-in, he could be tied directly to the Nixon administration. It's a chilling thought, but Liddy brushes it away. He doesn't have much of a choice. The former CIA agent is the only bugging expert Liddy knows, and he doesn't have time to find a replacement. McCord will have to do. And besides, Liddy knows there's no real reason to be concerned. He's gamed out these plans a million times. They're foolproof. As long as the team follows the plan, they'll complete the operation and get valuable intelligence on the Democrats. And when all is said and done, President Nixon will continue on to his second term in the White House.
I'm John Robbins, and on my podcast, I sit down with incredible people to ask the very simple question, how do you cope? From confronting grief and mental health struggles to finding strength in failure, every episode is a raw and honest exploration of what it means to be human. It's not always easy, but it's always real. Whether you're looking for inspiration, comfort, or just a reminder that you're not alone in life's messier moments, join me on How Do You Cope? Follow now wherever you get your podcasts, or listen to episodes early and ad-free